I've replayed this moment in my head 1,000 times, trying to find the right words. But there are no right words. There's only the truth, raw and heavy, a weight I've carried for so long it's become a part of me. Silence was my shield, my prison. I chose it, thinking it would protect her, protect us. But silence doesn't protect, it suffocates. It let the lie grow, twist, and become something monstrous. Now, the silence is breaking, and I can't hold it back any longer. It all started on a Tuesday, a day just like any other. Rain was drumming against the window pane, the sky a blanket of grey. She was sitting across from me, her smile a small, gentle curve. We were talking about the future, about a house with a little garden and a clumsy dog we'd probably spoil too much. Her eyes were so full of life, of plans we were making together. I remember the smell of coffee and the warmth of her hand in mine. I should have told her then. The thought crossed my mind, a fleeting shadow, but I pushed it away. Why ruin a perfect moment? That's what I told myself. There would be a better time, a right time. But the perfect moment is a myth. It's an excuse we invent to postpone the inevitable, to put off the pain. And so, I let the moment pass, another brick laid in the wall of my silence. That was my first great mistake. The secret I was keeping wasn't some grand, dramatic affair. It was small, almost trivial at its core. A mistake from my past, a stupid, youthful error I thought was long buried. But secrets are like seeds. They find the smallest crack to sprout in, and they grow in the dark. This one was rooted in shame, in the fear that she would see me as someone else, someone less than the man she thought she loved. I watched her sleep that night, her breath soft and even. The moonlight traced the lines of her face, and a wave of love so fierce it hurt washed over me. How could I risk losing this? The fear was a cold knot in my stomach. So I made a pact with myself, a vow of silence. I would carry this burden alone. I convinced myself it was a noble sacrifice, a way to preserve her happiness, her perfect image of me. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The lie became easier to live with. It became a part of our daily routine, a silent guest at our dinner table. Sometimes she would look at me with a question in her eyes, a flicker of something she couldn't name. She'd ask if I was okay, if something was wrong. And I would smile, kiss her forehead, and tell her everything was fine. Each lie was another layer of armor, but it was also another bar on my cage. There was a time, about a year in, when I almost broke. We were on a trip, standing on a cliff overlooking the ocean. The wind was whipping her hair across her face, and she looked so free, so beautiful. She turned to me and said she'd never been happier. My heart broke a little. I wanted to tell her everything, to purge the poison from my soul. But the words caught in my throat. I couldn't bear to see that happiness vanish. So I held on, white-knuckled, to my secret. It started to change me, subtly at first. I became more withdrawn, more guarded. I built walls around the parts of myself I didn't want her to see. Our conversations became shallower, skirting the edges of true intimacy. We were close, but there was always a space between us, a space filled with everything I couldn't say. I was there, but I wasn't, not completely. She must have felt the distance growing. She tried to bridge it. She would plan special nights, ask me deep questions, trying to pull me out of my shell. She deserved the truth. She deserved a partner who was fully present, not a ghost hiding behind a smile. But my fear was greater than my courage. I was a coward, hiding in the fortress I had built. The irony is that, in trying to protect her, I was hurting her more than the truth ever could. My silence was a betrayal far deeper than the original mistake. It denied her the right to choose, the right to see me for who I truly was and decide for herself. It was the ultimate act of selfishness, disguised as protection. I was so afraid of her judgment that I never gave her a chance to show me grace. I remember one evening, she found an old photograph from my college days. A friend in the picture was connected to my secret. She asked about him, innocently. My blood ran cold. I fumbled for an answer, a vague, dismissive story. I saw the confusion on her face, the momentary disconnect. She knew I was lying. She didn't press, but the trust between us frayed a little more that day. The weight of it all became unbearable. I had trouble sleeping. The secret would whisper to me in the dead of night. My own reflection became that of a stranger, a liar. I was living a double life, not with another person, but with another version of myself, the honest man I could have been. The guilt was a constant, dull ache in my chest. She started to pull away too, a mirror of my own retreat. The laughter in our home grew quieter. The comfortable silences we once shared became tense and heavy. We were two people living in the same house, but in different worlds, separated by a truth I refused to speak. My silence was not just a burden, it was a poison, slowly seeping into the foundations of the life we had built. The moment of reckoning came not with a bang, but with a quiet, heartbreaking question. We were sitting in the dark, the television off, the silence deafening. She turned to me, her eyes glistening, and whispered, "Who are you?" It wasn't an accusation. It was a genuine plea. She didn't recognize the man sitting next to her anymore. And in that moment, I didn't recognize myself either. I finally told her, not all at once, but in broken pieces, the words stumbling out, clumsy and ugly. I watched the emotions flicker across her face, confusion, hurt, and finally, a deep, profound sadness. It wasn't anger, not at first. It was the sorrow of realizing that the man she loved had been hiding from her all along. The truth hadn't destroyed her. My years of deception had. She didn't leave right away. She tried. We both tried. But the foundation was shattered. The trust, once broken, couldn't be fully repaired. The secret itself was small, something she said she could have forgiven, even understood. But she couldn't forgive the years of lies, the stolen intimacy, the feeling of being married to a ghost. The silence had done its work. It had hollowed us out from the inside. Now she's gone. The house is quiet, but it's a different kind of quiet. It's not the tense silence of a secret being kept. It's the empty silence of absence. Every room holds a memory of her, of the happiness I threw away because I was too afraid. The garden we dreamed of will never be planted. The silence I chose to protect her ended up costing me everything. I'm recording this because I need the words to exist somewhere outside of my own head. I need to own the truth, fully and completely. I built my own prison of silence, brick by brick, and locked myself inside. I thought I was protecting her, but I was only protecting my own fear. It was never about her. It was always about my own cowardice. My biggest regret isn't the mistake I made all those years ago. It's every single day that followed when I chose to stay silent. It's every moment I looked into her eyes and lied. It's every "I love you" that was only half true because I wasn't giving her all of me. Silence is not a sanctuary. It's a tomb where love goes to die. So this is my confession. Not for forgiveness, because I don't deserve it. Not for pity. It's for the record. It's a warning. Don't let fear make you a liar. Don't let silence hollow out your life. The truth might hurt for a moment, but a lie hurts forever. Now, there's nothing left but the echo of my own silence and the truth I finally spoke, far, far too late.